Welcome to a very sunny Southampton boat show. I'm on the pontoons and I want to show you a boat that could well be the future of boating. It's a brand new boat, it's a one-off at the moment, and it is an electric powered boat, but a very special hull design and some fascinating stats in terms of range, speed, etc. So come with me, let's have a look round to start with, and then we'll really get into the nitty-gritty of the numbers behind it. So if we start here on the transom, what I'll actually do is wander down the side so that you can get a flavour of the hull. Now this is where it begins to get clever, because it has this quite unique hull design with a tunnel that goes there. It isn't a multi-hull, but it does have a tunnel that goes right back, and the whole hull is designed for efficiency. And that's obviously critical with electric boats. The boat is relatively light, it's 3 tons. It has a range of 150 miles at displacement speed, so 6-7 knots, something like that. It's traditional construction, it's not carbon, although there are carbon elements to it. The bathing platform itself is carbon, and other key areas like the flagstaff there are carbon, but in the main it is just traditional vinyl ester. A lot of the materials used are recycled, and we'll have a look at those as we go through. But let's start here on what is a very nice aft-facing sun pad, which is going to be great to, certainly when you're at anchor and watching all those activities going on in the water. But as we start on the transom here, what I do want to show you, if I just come down here and lift this hatch, under here is the propulsion. And this is a RAD 40, so it's kind of equivalent of an outboard, but it doesn't have the height, obviously. And the benefit of that is that it doesn't interfere in the deck space. So if you had a traditional outboard, obviously it would sit way up here and you'd lose this floor space here. So that's equivalent of about 54 horsepower. So it's not obviously a high-speed boat, but it's certainly made for efficiency and having that range as well. If I lift this section up here, a second, there we go. So the beauty of not having a traditional inboard is you get this huge storage space. So in here we've got plenty of room for paddle boards, inflatables, fenders, anything else you wanted. Lots of storage on these shelves at the side, and then a nice deep compartment here. Now what you've also got under here, interestingly, is an inverter with a mains output, so you can charge some of those toys. So if you had a, I don't know, electric foiling board or even an electric outboard, something like that, you can charge it from here within its stowage, which is really useful. Let's go and have a look in the cockpit itself. So nice wide decks here, plenty of space to walk around, and it really is beautifully finished. So we have this very large seating area, which will easily seat, 6, 8, something like that. Beautifully finished table, which is fixed. And it leads us to our galley area here. Now, of course, everything is electric on this boat, no gas. But we've got a 2-ring hob there, plenty of storage in here. Very good sized fridge, and that fridge actually goes right the way back to here. So very deep, plenty of cooling capability, and up here a little preparation storage area. But very handy for serving your guests here at the table. So if we go through to the helm station, we've got a really nice helm station and a really nice view. I love this windscreen. Feels a bit like an aeroplane cockpit or something. But you've got a great view ahead. You can see the bow there while we're at it. And that forward locker is obviously all the anchor gear. And you've got a couple of lights there down to the cabin. But if we just look here At the helm itself, we've got all the basic functions. We've got our throttle here. We've got our controls for the RAD electric propulsion unit. We have a bow thruster, windlass, the usual stuff, fusion controls, and 2 Raymarine screens there. Now, interestingly, we've got a bow thruster, but the benefit of this electric drive is that you can actually rotate it 90 degrees, which effectively makes it a stern thruster. So if you use the bow thruster and the stern thruster, you can of course go sideways. Let's drop down here into the cabin. Now the cabin itself, I mean, this is obviously basically a weekender. This is a 10-metre boat, the E10. They have got plans for an E14, which they are pulling together at the moment. But here we've got a very nice, and that's larger than the king size bed, memory foam mattress. We do actually have a little door here that will slide across, so you can have that privacy. The loo is actually in here, electric loo. We've got a basin there. And over on this side, we've got all the switch gear. This is bamboo. And the floor down there is cork. And interestingly, the wall linings there are bespoke, so you can literally have anything on there you want. They're from recycled materials, but you can have them printed with literally anything. Picture of your dog, family, or just your favourite scene. But it really is a very cosy cabin, and yeah, just make a great weekender. But let's go back up and just have a quick look around the cockpit again. And what I'm going to do is have a chat to David Kendall, who builds the boat, and he actually designed it as well. And we'll hear a little bit more about the numbers and the technical data behind it. Right, I'm with David Kendall, the creator and owner of Optima Yachts. David, well, so firstly, welcome to the Marine Channel, and thank you for your time today and letting us film your beautiful boat. Can I start by asking you, how do we come to be sitting here? What was the impetus for launching the business and designing the boat?
Thank you, David. Started 4.5 years ago. We just saw gaps in the marine industry which were really not being addressed, driven by sustainability and environmental demands. So we set out to create what we believe is the best electric boat on the market, addressing the concerns of things like range anxiety by making a much more efficient electric boat where we could actually go proper distances. We can go from the UK to France or Monaco to Corsica under battery power.
Brilliant. So I think with, there's always the parallels between electric cars and the stats are really the ones that matter, and I'd like to come on to those in a minute. Mm-hmm. But for me, I mean, the boat is beautiful, just as a traditional boat. But I would like to talk quickly about the hull design, because I've just shown the viewers the fairly radical design on the bows there. But can you talk a little bit about how that came about and how that helps efficiency?
It's all driven by reducing the energy consumption. We can pile in electric power, but we can't carry the energy in batteries. So we're just as modern cars are driven by aerodynamics, we're driven by the hydrodynamics. We've had some incredible expertise into the boat from America's Cup and areas like that, with cutting edge computational fluid dynamics, driving the hull design. So that's completely driven the design of the hull. It was also absolutely crucial for us that we produce a beautiful boat. We were not ever going to build something that was going to be ugly, even if it worked. So if we couldn't meet all of our criteria, we would never have built the boat. So although it's driven by engineering, naval architecture and hydrodynamics, it was absolutely fundamental for us also to produce a boat that was beautiful and beautiful to own and use.
Fabulous. Right, let's get to the nitty-gritty of the numbers.
Yeah.
So we've got a 40 kilowatt outboard, which is the equivalent of about 54 horsepower, I know.
Correct.
Let's talk what sort of speeds we're looking at and what sort of range we've got at those speeds.
One of the strange things with our hull form is we have no great transition, no hump. So there's no speeds that we're not happy at, between pretty much 2 or 3 knots up to the maximum speeds of sort of 13 to 18 knots, depending on the vessel and the size. And we will cruise with the boat staying dead flat in the water at all those speeds, pretty much in silence, no fumes. We can sit on the back of the boat while we're going along without the fumes from an engine. So really efficient at the displacement speeds, 6 to 8 knots, but equally happy at sort of flat out at sort of 13 to 18 knots.
Okay, and range-wise?
Range, up to 150 miles at the sort of slower displacement speeds. We were the first electric boat to go around the Isle of Wight in the UK, which was 55 miles, very gentle day out, cruise at around 9 knots, and we got back with nearly 40% left in the batteries, and really feeling like we just had a nice gentle day out because it was so comfortable.
And just coming back to the cost, so that 55-mile journey, what do you think that cost you in electricity?
We checked it when we recharged, and it cost us £20 to recharge in the marina.
Wow.
At marina prices, which was incredible, because that probably would have cost £400 or £500 in petrol in an equivalent petrol boat.
Definitely.
So the through life costs, and it's not just fuel, because it's also maintenance, a lot less servicing, a lot less to go wrong. So although, as with electric cars, you're paying a little bit of a premium initially, you save it over several years.
Brilliant, absolutely amazing. Now, this is the E10. I know you've got a plan for a bigger boat. Can you tell us about that, what it's going to be like, and where you're at with it?
The existing E10 that we built has been our development tool, and we're taking all the lessons of this to put it into our production boats, which could include a productionised E10. We're very excited about the larger boat, which is the E14, so that's 46 feet. It's a sort of 9 to 10 ton boat, 10 tons fully loaded. Similar range, slightly higher speeds, 2 to 3 tons of batteries included in the all-up weight of 10 tons. And that will be a very luxurious boat, designed to be quite adaptable, different roof configurations, different seating and cabin configurations. So we can have big sunbeds on the back, or we can have a big open sort of beach club arrangement. If you're into water sports, we can have electric flight boards which you can recharge from the boat. So we've got a big energy store in the batteries, and they can output 230 volts to power a charger for the flight boards. Fabulous.
And final question, the painful one, I guess. Cost. What's the price of the boat, David?
E10, excuse me, will be about £500,000 ex-VAT. E14 around 1.2 million.
Wonderful. Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time today, and thank you again for letting us on your boat. And we wish you the very best, and we can't wait to see the E14. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks to Marine Channel for hosting us.
Thank you. Cheerio.
Thank you. Bye.